Hi folks, the sun is shining beautifully today, and so I thought about creating something brighter. And just recently I ordered myself some of these awesome looking neon acrylic paints, and I wanted to play with them. And to give this one a kickoff start, I wanted to recreate a swirl which ended up being my most viewed video as of now, which is awesome. And I just want to try if I can recreate it with the neon colors on an oval canvas. So nothing groundbreaking new this time, but I wanted to create something pretty without experimenting on new stuff. Yeah, that's basically what is going to happen here. Besides these acrylic paints, I just used some flow tool. There is no silicone attached to the paint, so I don't need to use a torch after all. So a very simple, plain and easy method to do. In case you wondered, the canvas that you're going to see in a blink of an eye is a reused canvas, so I did a pour over it already, but I did not like it, so I covered it up with acrylic paint because my gesso is empty. Otherwise I would have used the gesso. And let it dry, and so now I have a new surface to play on, to pour something over it. And just for you to know, in case you have a canvas that is already acrylic paint covered and ready to be reused, basically, you have to be a bit more careful, because when you have a new fresh canvas, the water is able to soak within the fabric and dry from underneath as well. So this is in a way better because your paint is less likely to crack, because it cannot only dry from above. And when you have already a layer of acrylic paint on the canvas, which makes it waterproof, so the paint can only dry from above, which always is a bit risky because the paint might be cracking if it dries too quickly. So whenever you try something like this and you have a heavy load of paint, put it somewhere where it can dry really slowly. If you only have a thin layer of paint, you will be perfectly fine, nothing is going to happen. But if you mix properly your paint too thick, and you have a heavy load of paint, just put it somewhere really cold perhaps, or put something over it, like a box or something, just to prevent it to dry too quickly. This will in a way protect your paint as well. Having this all said, let's start with the project. In case you wonder about the little square canvases laying around here, I totally forgot to film the mixing process of my paint when I did this project, so I just used the intro of another color mixing from a next upcoming project. I know this is kind of simple, but I always like to have some kind of intro that you can look at while I make my intro text telling what I'm going to do and stuff like this here now. But now let's continue with the project. You can see my canvas here, all the colors that I have mixed. To give it a base layer, I just put some white paint on the canvas to have somewhat base layer for the paint to flow over. And then I just poured all the colors into my cup. And for this one I use a disposable paper cup because this is squeezable and you can make a fine tip to pour the paint out. And so this was my go-to version. I poured the paint into the cup from dark to light. I wanted to have some kind of color transition, so this was my way to do it. So if you do not want to have a color transition after all, just put your colors in randomly, whatever you can grab the first, and just play with it. So I have also added some layers of white paint and some darker paint within these layers just to create some kind of contrast, because I thought only these neon colors might be not that contrasty when they are dried, because they are supposed to be neon, so bright, and yeah. So I had some normal darker colors just added to it to create a contrast of it. So when my cup was full of paint and layered up, I just started pouring. And this time pouring more or less means making some swirl motions with your hand just to pour the paint onto the canvas. And when I was doing so, I got larger with my swirls. You do not have to do this. You can just use the same size of swirls over the entire canvas, as you're going to stretch the paint afterwards anyways. But I wanted to get a bit bigger with my swirls to not stretch the paint too much, to not create some weird shapes and such because of the oval shape. I did not really know if the paint reacts the same as if it was a square shape. So if the paint flows the same way as I wanted it to flow on in. So a square version. And once the paint was applied, I stretched it around a bit, and I really loved the effect of the colors that I achieved there. But I did not like the overall shape that much. Something was missing in my opinion. I wasn't sure really what was missing, but something was missing. So I just stretched out some of these swirls a bit further, just grabbed a toothpick and stretched the colors around into the white, let it feather a bit, used my palette knife to feather it out a bit, and also interlaced it with some white acrylic paint just to have a bit more contrast here. Whenever you do this yourself, just follow your gut feeling. I did not really have a plan on what to do, so I just thought about putting this color there, that color there, and playing around a bit to make it look a bit more interesting, a bit more contrasty after all. So that was actually everything I was doing, and yeah, it was a very quick, fun and easy project, which I asked you to follow as well. It was really fun to do, and as this first attempt was my most viewed video, something pretty must have been into them, and it looks kind of similar, just a bit more neon, of course, as these were neon acrylic paints. Yeah, so I still hope you like this result as well as you liked the very first one. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the final result because it was already sold before I could film the end result or even make a picture of it. So once it was done and basically ready to be filmed for the final part of this video, we had friends coming over for dinner and they fell in love with it and wanted to have it right away. So it was gone before I could make a photo or film it. So I'm really sorry. But I hope you can imagine how the end result was looking. It was really cute. And yeah, I really love these colors. I'm going to play with them a bit further on a different kind of project, testing them out on different color mixtures, different palettes, on a white background, on a more darker background, how they react, just to get a feeling for them. And to make this video not too long and to have at least one video on my channel without any failures in it, I just let it be and make another video of the experimenting part of this. So I hope you really liked this video as much I loved doing it. If you have any questions, as usual, please feel free to comment below in my text box. And I have all the materials listed below as well in case you want to try this on your own. If you're new to my channel, please make sure to subscribe if you loved what you've seen here and are curious about coming projects. I have already about over 100 videos here on my channel for different techniques and mediums. So plenty to look at. Yeah, share the video with your friends if you want to support my channel, and other than that, I will see you in my next video and wish you a great day. Bye bye!